Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about Afallen, a UR Mercury unit in Revived Witch. She's among the best guardians of the game, if not the best. I'm going to break down this video into 4 parts: initial info, skill, gear, and team composition, so feel free to skip ahead to whatever interests you. Let's get started. Afallen is one of the recommended units to reroll for in the beginning of the game because of her low investment cost for it to be effective early on and her excelling from early game to late game. Afallen is a magic attacker that can both protect her team with her S1, and with her S2 she can cast a harmful debuff on the enemies while doing massive magic AoE damage. She's a very powerful unit with the offensive and defensive capabilities that makes PvE content easy and can compete in PvP. Afallen's S1 is Barrier, a support ability which costs 3 order energy. This skill is great for support because it redirects all damage for the next 10 seconds to Afallen, which counters assassins that target the back row and help protect squishy units that lack HP and defense. When this skill is activated, Afallen generates a shield that scales off her HP and increases her physical and magical defense for the next 10 seconds. And for the first 2 seconds she is immune to all damage, which makes her S1 very strong because it allows Afallen to completely neutralize attack skills from bosses and other units. Afallen's S2, Holy Radiance, is her magic attack that costs 3 chaos energy. With this skill, Afallen can provide offensive support for her team by reducing the enemy's magic defense by 40% of her own magic defense and deal out massive magic damage herself. Afallen's passive skill, at level 1, autocast Holy Radiance once after taking damage 15 times, and at level 2, Holy Radiance is casted after taking damage 8 times. This passive just helps deal additional damage and magic defense reduction. This passive goes well with her S1 since all the damage will be redirected to her for 10 seconds. And finally, her courtyard skill increases byproduct drops by 10% when alchemizing quartz. Now, I would be talking about gear. The stats you want depend on how you want to build your Afallen, but in this guide I will be focused on gear stats for building Afallen as a tank. For gear substats, get either HP percent, magic defense percent, or physical defense percent in no particular order. If you are trying to maximize everything, magic defense percent is slightly better than physical defense percent because her S2 magic defense reduction scales on her magic defense, but both are usable since they can be used in her S1. Also, percent stats are better than flat stats, so aim for substats with percentages. For gear sets, I will only be talking about gold gear sets because I have not farmed enough to get legendary gear sets. For the gold gear sets, I recommend Peace of Mind or Iron Willed. Both sets will provide an additional boost to Afallen's defense, and their 3-piece effect has a chance to proc when taking damage and will restore 1 energy. This goes well with Afallen's S1 since all damage will be redirected to her. In my opinion, both sets are equally good for Afallen. It just depends on if you prefer the Chaos or Order Energy Restoration. Another usable set is Ancient Forest. This will strengthen Afallen's shield because it scales on her HP, but the 3-piece effect might not be as effective since it deals the same amount of damage to the attacker. But since Afallen has high defense stats, most likely Afallen will not be taking any high damage, making the 3-piece effect inefficient. For team composition, I will not be talking about any specific characters to put on a team because there are too many characters to talk about, and I don't have a lot of characters. If you would like to ask a specific character in team composition, feel free to ask in the comments. Instead, I will be focusing on how to build a team around Afallen, and the general structure in a team composition. Afallen acts as the tank and should be placed in the front. She's a unit that has high survivability and should be taking most of the damage. Her S2 reduces enemies' magic defense, so it would be ideal to pair up with another magic user that has high DPS capabilities. This could be another doll from the mage class that can deal high magic damage. For the third doll, I would recommend using a Mercury Compeller. Compeller dolls will add additional buffs to your team and debuff enemies, which can enhance your mage DPS doll's damage. Adding a Mercury Compeller will also give you the element buff since the mage class only has Mercury dolls, and Afallen is also a Mercury doll. The Mercury team I am currently running is Afallen, Maya Hwal, who is my main DPS, and Arcana, who helps heal and provide faster energy regeneration and magic damage buff. I would recommend building a team to get the element buff, but it can sometimes be difficult to get other dolls of the same element. Luckily, Afallen can work with other teams of different elements because her main role is to be a damage sponge. Afallen's S1 still works as efficiently in any other team, and the only downside is that her S2 magic defense reduction might not be utilized as much. In teams with different elements, I would recommend pairing Afallen with one DPS doll and another support doll, one that provides heals or buffs. That's all for this Afallen guide. I hope this helped out. Thank you for watching, and if you made it to the end and enjoyed the video, please like and or sub.